Good morning. So, I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about love and light. And I feel like there's like such a misconception around love and light. Like, yes, it is, love, caring, all that, beautiful stuff, but also there exists some darkness, and a lot of that love and light has to go through a lot of darkness, you know. And like I know some people are so sweet and so supportive and so loving towards me, and at the same time I can feel the not so pleasant energy towards me. And because I know love and light can irritate unhealed people, and it's not like I know a lot of people think it's all sunshine and rainbows, and it's really not. I mean, love and light, it does also include truth. And a lot of times, truth is hard to look at, it's hard to accept, it's hard to deal with. And yeah, it's really hard. Like I said, even in one of my other videos, like it's really hard to even look at yourself in the face and to face those truths, about ourselves. It's really hard and it's not fun. And, or sometimes we learn truths about other people, or, you know what I mean? Like truth is good, but it's hard. And, sometimes what happens is that it creates like a negative energy, right? And energy can't be destroyed. Like it's just law. Like it has to move from somewhere to somewhere. So if you can't deal with certain things, like certain, and you can call it whatever you want. You can call them demons, shadow, darkness, whatever. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. But if you don't confront those or you don't deal with those, you end up stalking them, like you end up hanging on to those in your body. And that's going to cause some kind of ailment, some kind of sickness, some kind of disruption in your harmony in some kind of way. What can also happen is you can also project that onto other people. So you transfer it, which isn't good because no one deserves your shit. And what you could also do is, release those in some kind of way. Sometimes release can maybe be a little destructive, which isn't always the best option. But I mean, when I'm pissed off or something happens, like I'll either break something or I'll burn something. And sometimes it's something that's like completely useless. I remember for a long time when I was going through, one of the hardest times of my life, actually. And I used to keep an empty box, like a huge box, an empty box in my back entrance. And every time I would come in and I felt like some kind of anger, I would just jump on that box. I'd kick that box. I would just let it out on that box, And it felt good. But sometimes we don't always have that option. Maybe sometimes it's not always the best option. Not everyone likes to, But the best option would be to transmute that energy, which means to take that negative energy and transform it into something really good. So, for example, like I had mentioned before with my weight loss and everything, like my dog had died and he was my baby. Like I loved him with my entire life and soul. He was my son, my everything. So when he died, I was really fucked up. Like oh my God, I went through like, a little while there that it was not pretty, And I decided, oh my God, I can't keep living this way. I cannot hang on to this negative energy. I cannot let this destroy me. I cannot hold this in any longer. So I transmuted it. And which means, like for me, I dove into self-love, like to the fullest extent. Like I was sick of taking medications. I was sick of taking like puffers, pills, whatever, like for my asthma. And I had this other disease too. It was like I couldn't swallow properly, like since I was a kid. Like every time I took a bite of something, I had to drink water or something to help it go down. So anyways, I had to take a pill for that too. So I was like, I am so sick of taking pills. I just want to come back to me. There's got to be a better way to live. Like, I just thought, because in that moment of just destructive, like, energy, just the soul crushing, like, I was like, I can't do this. And I just want, like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with myself. What do you do? What do you do when you feel like you just have nothing else to go, like nothing's motivating you, nothing, like, what do you do? Like you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to do it. You don't know how you're going to do it. You just don't know. But in that moment of when you don't know, the best and only thing you can really do is take care of yourself. That's the best thing you can do. And I didn't know where to start. So I thought, well, I'm going to start with the food I eat. So I went to go see a naturopath and I started eating healthy. And automatically, like, just one thing led to another. Like, I decided that anything I put in my body, I was nourishing it with love, with care, with, intention. And I wasn't going to like stray from that, because for me, this was everything. This is what was keeping me alive. This is what was motivating me to move forward. This is what was, so for me, it wasn't weight loss at all. It was, I never had that even in my mind. I didn't even weigh myself before I started. The only way that I found out what I weighed is because I'd gone to the doctor like a few months before I started, and he ended up weighing me. So I had to actually contact my doctor to see what was in my file, because I didn't even know what I weighed. But so really, I started that journey for the love of me, because I was so sick of just hanging on to these energies that were destroying me. Like anytime I went through some kind of trauma, anytime, like, I took that energy and transmuted it. I turned it into something better. I became stronger, And it is hard. I get it. I understand. It's very hard. I've done it. And it's hard. It was hard to look in the mirror and say, I'm getting in my own way. I'm getting in my own way. Because if I would have stayed into that shithole of how I felt after my dog died, I could sit there and blame everything. Oh my God, why did God take my dog? What the hell? Blah, 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 whatever. And everyone's an asshole and all this other crap. And I can't move on because this and this and this happened to me and whatever. Well, you're deciding that. You're making that conscious decision. But I decided to look in the mirror and say, yo, you're killing yourself right now. You're not eating properly. You're not motivated for anything. You're not this, you're not that. Like, get your shit together. I had to look in the mirror and face that. So yeah, it's really hard. And even making those changes is really hard, because guess what? You're stepping into something that you've never done. You're stepping into something that takes courage, that takes strength. You're stepping into that. You're trying something new. And it's not about doing it perfectly. It's not about, like, perfect doesn't exist, okay? Like, we're all just very unique. We all have our own journeys, and there's nothing perfect. And that's the most beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And you just got to go for it. And not everyone's going to understand you in that journey. And it doesn't matter. As long as you're true to yourself and your heart and you know where you're going, that's all that matters. You're not here to live for anybody else. You're here to live for you. And if you live through trauma and abuse and stuff like I have, like, you lived for other people your entire life. You did everything you could to please them as much as you could at your capacity. And along the way, you lost yourself, you lost your memory, you lost friends, you lost all kinds of things, okay? But the worst part is that you lost yourself in that. So I think the most important thing now, if you're really wanting to make a difference, is to think about really what you want deep inside. What does the best version of you look like? What does the best version of you want? And that's what God wants for you too. Like, you just got to be happy at the end of the day. And whatever doesn't make you happy, you got to let it go. You can thank it for coming, you can be grateful for having it there. Send it love, pray for it, pray for that person, pray for that situation, whatever. But then let it go, because you don't need to carry that. You've carried it long enough, It's time to live. It's time to be free. Time to be happy. Okay? I love you guys. Bye.